And welcome.
Virtual learning has witnessed a boom lately. Students and teachers alike have shifted to online classes from the conventional physical classrooms. Have you shifted to online teaching? There are a lot of benefits of online classes. Let's take a look at them. You can impart knowledge while being at home, saves time commuting from home to school. Classes are interactive with students without interruptions. You are able to use screen recordings for future use. Everybody is able to focus on studying without disruption and much more. By shifting to online teaching, you will be able to teach students in a fun-filled and captivating way.
Interesting point. One of the things that you can do is manifest. And you'll hear a lot of people say that. What I like to say is that you have an image and you have it in your mind. So as you move forward, that image is what's going to drive you. The one thing about the image is that it has to become your lifestyle. So let's say you have an idea. Okay, so it's an idea in your mind. It popped up whatever situations that you may have. The best thing about it is that that image is now going to give you a roadmap as you continually think about it. So you have continuous contemplation. Some call that meditation. We just call it continuous contemplation because as you're moving through your mindset, you're constantly changing and you're constantly moving forward. What makes it great for you is that it has a chance to becoming a habit. It also has a chance of becoming a lifestyle, also has a chance of becoming who you are and being a part in you so that you can increase your life. And you can increase your life in different realities. So there's the money, there's the personal fulfillment, there's the being of service, and so forth and so on. The best part about using your vision is that you can determine how far you want to go. So you're going to walk with your faith, you're going to walk with your habits, and you're going to walk with your disciplines. Sometimes not necessarily in that order, sometimes in a different order. It just depends on where you're at in life. The best thing about being who you need to be is that you can always be better. And right now, I would like people to tell me how they're doing over here in the chat and make sure we have our electronics and everything going. Because I know I started and there was a few things with our tech right now. So, and if you can't, just let me know later in our group. So we'll restream if we have to. So that's that. Okay, we're just going to keep going and act like everything is great. The one thing that you can always do to be better is to make the attempt, okay, when you start to get into your groove. And when you want to get into your groove, I mean that you have your vision and now you're going to make sure that that vision becomes your lifestyle that you do every day. And in order to do that, you need to have that going. And when you have that going, it makes for a better time and a better way. So let's go through some steps here. Okay. And they're going to be in order. Okay. So you have the vision. Okay. And the image is in your brain on what you want to do. And hopefully it's an active image, an image that you can see yourself doing so that you can go ahead and claim it. Okay. And then two, you're going to make up the protocol or the discipline that you're going to follow every day so that you can live that image. Three, you're going to start changing your language. And then when you change your language, you change your tenses of your language. So there's only doing. So you say, okay, I want to build a multi monetary, multi stream of income business or businesses. You say, I want to. Okay, so then you have to change the tenses as you're starting to do it. So you say, I am building a multi-stream, multi-millions, billions, whatever they may be, business. So now you're active. Okay. Then the next step is that continuous contemplation. That continuous contemplation means that you think about it, you write it down, you put it in your cell phone, your smartphone, you keep looking at it. So it might be a picture, maybe you find off the internet, or maybe it's one you make yourself, so that when you're on your cell phone or smartphone, you can look at it to help reinforce those situations. A lot of smartphones have notes, what they call notes. So you can put your notes in there. And then if you're old school and you want to do a combination thereof, is you can also write it down so that it becomes reality for you and it is realistically attainable. So each step you take, whether they're big steps, small steps, little bitty steps, whatever steps they are, as long as you're moving forward and you're standing on your square, then you can move forward. The next step is to start realizing, okay, this is the discipline I'm going to need to in order to accomplish this task. So as I'm moving forward and accomplishing the task, I am constantly upgrading me and my lifestyle. So that discipline might mean that maybe you have to work on it 4 hours a day, 2 hours a day, 30 minutes a day, or the whole day. Whatever you need to do that you only you know how much you need to work on it is fine. Some people work on it 15 or 20 minutes out of every hour because they may have a job. So they have to find time. So sometimes you might have to find snippets of time. And those snippets of time will give you what you need to be what you need to do. So it gets rocky, it gets rocky, so to speak. And that rockiness is just to let you know that you are moving forward. So it's not always easy and it's not always hard. It's just what it is it's challenging because now as you're changing your life and as you're changing who you are, you will find that people will treat you different. So you cannot take them personal. Only person you can take personal is you. I know that sounds funny, but it's the truth. And the truth is the one that's going to give you your wings because now you can look at everything in real time on demand. And that brings us to our next situation, our next steps. The steps have to be ready to go. And that's called protocol. And when you have that protocol in there, okay, I get up in the morning, I read, continuous contemplation, I exercise, I get ready for work or get up, take a shower, those kinds of steps. And then you're going to allocate throughout your day what it is that you need to do. So one of the things you can do is control your media of what you're seeing. So if you want to build this big business, then you want to listen and talk to people all day, every day that are building businesses or have done it or are on their way and they're at the same point you're at, or they're even greater, or they're further along, so that you can reinforce the thoughts and the processes in your mind because everybody has something to share. As long as it's positive and it's conducive to you, it's going to help you. So one of the ways you can do that is by reading. You can also look at videos. It just depends on what you want to do and how you learn. So that's part of the protocol for you. So every day you might read a book that has something to get you to think in a different light so that you can continuously process what you need to do to move forward. There's a lot of great people in our group, in our Dreams to Reality group, that are actually out here doing it. It's up to you to reach out to them. Of course, we'll be having them on here and we'll be interviewing them. And as of yet, the platform and the protocol hasn't matched up. So we're all doing our best to make it match up so that we can benefit everybody all the time. And that's the beauty of the internet and these different platforms. I'm live streaming to about 7 platforms right now, and a couple on Facebook, YouTube, and what have you. This is the message that I wanted to put out here today, was that no matter what you do, as long as you have an active plan or an active business plan, does not matter. And this was the next step. because you have an active business plan. So that means you have an active business plan according to you. Okay. I talk to a lot of people during the day, talk to a lot of people and look at a lot of different information and bits and pieces that I use in my own personal. You can do the same thing because it doesn't take long. So if 90% of your conversation is about someone else doing something, that means you've only left 10% for your own way to move forward. So as you create your path, the more time you'll be spending on making yourself a better person. When you walk with that faith and you walk with that conviction and you walk with that passion, people will know and you'll attract the right people. So there's words and terms they got now for that. We won't get into that, but everyone here knows and understands. So one of the situations that makes this whole process work for you is that you may be in a coaching program or a consulting program, and that consultant or coach or consultants and coaches are there to help you to get through whatever fears you may have or whatever situations you're trying to become greater to increase your life and increase your quality of life. And that's very important. So you need to listen to them as much as you can because they're there to help you. You may be paying a fee, you may not be paying a fee. But if you're in that program, that means those people are helping you and they're spending their time and their knowledge to help you move forward. And that's what means being of service. And as you move forward and you move far enough forward and you can take care of yourself and your family, then you turn around and give back. That's what it is, because there's no better joy than giving back. And this is all part of it. So one of the different things is to be better than what you were yesterday. That's it. It's that simple. That's why it's a challenge, because you may get up in the morning and maybe you didn't sleep well or something happened or you just don't feel like you have it. It's not that you don't have it. It's those other forces trying to keep you down where they're at. So your whole thing is to get up and rise. That's why you rise. And then you want to do little bitty things or little bitty incidences to move yourself forward. So you're running late. Let's say you're running late. Okay, you're running late. Okay. So then, you do everything, you go to work or you get started. The only thing that mattered was that you got started. Not that you're starting, but that you got started. That's a past tense, which means now you can go on to greatness. So you crossed that hurdle and now you're going on to greatness. So those are specific things that you need to understand. So like I said, you got to change your tenses. Okay, let's get back to this active business plan. Okay, you can create an active business plan, make it 1 or 2 pages so that it's simple and that you can reproduce it every day that you are working on yourself and working on your plans. Okay, notice I say plans with an S because everything is going to run off of a formula. And that formula has to be nimble because say you've got module 1, get up, work out, eat, continuous contemplation. Okay, that's module 1. Module 2 might be go to work, don't let the haters take me off of my game. It can be anything. So, but within those modules in that active business plan is a time where you can switch it around in case this isn't happening right now. I can go to the next situation immediately without any issues, and I can just be nimble. And that's what we mean when we say that. So make that active business plan like a 1 page. Try to make it as close to 1 page as possible, but don't pack it with a whole lot of stuff. Pack it with the things that are necessary. So one of the big affirmations is you want to be a person that can just keep going no matter what, outside of an act of God or, a major calamity. And even then you still have to keep going because that's just the way it is. So, but you want to make sure that you have everything that you need within your plan. So you're going to have to pray and you're going to have to execute, and those two got to run concurrent. Now, reason in this community, the reason why we say share your knowledge to contribute for the greater good is simply that when you're sharing your knowledge, you're also helping you. It becomes a therapeutic situation. Now, on your active business plan, let's say you work a lot of hours during the day. Okay, but you got to find time after work or lunchtime or whenever you can to slow down, relax, take a couple of deep breaths and work on yourself, no matter how tired you are. And I get it. Maybe you work out in the field, maybe, maybe you got to travel and it's just jet lag catches up with you, but you still have to get at least an hour in a day if you can. Just depends. And if you have 4 or 5 days like that, then you got to figure out, okay, all my days off, I have to figure out how I'm going to relax and then, excuse me, execute my plan. And this is a very important topic because then your motivation and your discipline comes in. So that's why people that play sports, a lot of them are successful, are people that are in competitive environments. Even though they're in competitive environments, they're still in their creative mind. And that's all we're talking about today is being in your creative mind and what's conducive to you and what's going to move you forward day in and day out. So you've got a lot of terms here. People saying, oh, I'm Alpha, I'm a Sigma, not by fraternity or sorority, but by that's just the terms that they have. You're going to see a lot of that because in our society, we term things, we coin terms. So that's what they use to keep you in that box. You want to be outside of the box because you want to be you. You want to be uniquely you. And that means that you're going to do things a certain way and you're going to do a thing in a certain way that's conducive to you. When it's conducive to you, it becomes conducive to everyone else because there may be somebody else that you may be pulling up to get to that situation where you're at. And that's why I always say what I want for myself, I want for others. Because if I'm doing those things that I need to make myself a better person and someone comes in contact with me, that's going to exude from me. They're going to say, okay, maybe he has some knowledge that, I might need. And everybody has something to give to the world. And don't think you don't. I learn from everybody and everything that's conducive to me. And you've got to be the same way. So that way you aren't out here with a hard head, so to speak, quote unquote, and you're getting it done. So that's what we want. So that active business plan can be real simple. It can be whoever, like mine is David's plan, David's active plan or DAP. That's what I relate to in my brain. Okay, am I on David's active plan? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? 1, 2, 3, 4? Or am I missing today? 1, 3, 2, 4, whatever it is. But as long as I'm getting it done and it's conducive to me and the benefits, I don't necessarily have to see. They may be years down the line or they may be immediate or somewhere's in between. That's all that matters. And it's positive for me. When you have a major calamity with yourself, okay, say, something happens, say you might have to go to the hospital or something happens to people in your family. It's up to you to keep the thoughts positive so that you can make it through. And so it's very important that you keep those thoughts pure and unadulterated within your mind so that you can keep stepping forward. When you open up a car engine, a old car engine like we have, a V8, okay, we're not talking about electric engines. We're just going to talk about V8s. There's pistons in there. And the pistons constantly fire. They constantly fire. So they up, down, up, down, up, down. They got their own harmony. And that's how you want to be. But in order for that to happen, you have to have your active business plan working all day, every day. One thing about having your own products and one thing about having your own mission, others don't have to know, not unless you tell them. What you can do is just stay on it. And that's going to make you a better employee because maybe you get yelled at by the boss or maybe you are the boss. In the back of your mind, you're listening to yourself. And okay, I got an active business plan. Okay, when I get out of here, I'm going to go work on myself, whatever it may be. And I'm going to activate my business plan. So that's how you're going to help to relieve your stress. So the whole synopsis of this whole topic of conversation, and we can go on for hours, is that the best things in life are the things that you do for yourself that are conducive for you, that gives you a positive outcome, and that you're able to overcome whatever it is. So if you have fear, stay in your plan, walk your walk, and you'll pass through that fear. But you got to take the first step. And if you don't take that first step, it's never going to happen. We all know that just living, period, you're going to have to figure out something. Like when you first figured out how to walk, at some point, you saw other people doing it and you figured, okay, this is the way to be. So you emulated them. And that's how you learned how to walk. You just got up one day and walked. You first learned to talk. They kept talking to you, kept talking to you. Then one day you had your first word come out. So that's how it goes. And it's the same way in business. It's the same way if you want to be a better person. It's the same way in everything you do. You're going to have to find a mentor or model. Or like I said, if you're in a consulting or coaching program, they're there to help you. They're going to guide you by the hand. Whether you have success or delay success is up to you. It's how much are you willing to implement into your life to make yourself a better person. Just because you go on a vacation doesn't mean that you're going to have a good time. If you take all your issues on a vacation, then you spent the money to go to the vacation and then you're still not happy because you're still dwelling on something in the past. And this is very important. And this brings us to our next point. You have to look forward and stop looking in the rearview mirror. Whatever happened in the rearview mirror, whatever it is, okay, fine. It happened. Just remember, if you did something public, that's going to follow you. If you did something private, nobody needs to know. But if you did something public, then that means you got to change completely. And when you do something private, it means you got to change completely. But what you have to understand is I got to keep looking forward and realize that this is my reputation, that I need to either repair it or I need to increase it. So when I step up on the scene, they know what it is. So, and you can deal with that with your body posture and how you talk and what makes you valued as an individual in the community. And that's all we're talking about. And then when you're in the business community, your value and your paycheck will rise to that occasion. So what are the first misnomers you got to get out your mind? If you're a worker and you're transferring over into business and you have a combination thereof, is that when you're a worker, you're working. You're working for someone else. You're building their dream, which is not bad. Maybe you need their dream to help you pay your bills. It's not bad. But then if you have a combination of working and then having your own business, okay, then when you get into your own business, you can take from what you learned at work and not put that into your business. And then you can get rid of those stressors from your business because every time something goes down, you can make an honest assessment. And that's very important on an active business plan. Is you got to look at yourself in the mirror. You got to look at yourself and say, what do I need to do to make myself better? And sometimes you might go to people to ask, but if you're not ready for that, don't do it because you might see something, you might hear something that might trigger you, but you have to get yourself prepared to do that. So in the meantime, get on your knees, say your prayers, roll your faith and roll on and keep rolling. That's all they did in all the spiritual books. They just kept rolling forward no matter what. And that's the basics that you need. And that's why that active business plan got to be active because every day you get up and I got a formula for how I'm going to win today. And that's what you got to say to yourself, especially when it gets tough. I am going to win today. No matter what happens, I'm going to win. So you got to get an image in your mind. My image was when I had watched on the news different calamities and I saw people wading through water or people saying, it took my house, but we're going to rebuild. Those are the kind of images. And I also had other images too from playing sports, being down in a game and then knowing this is what I got to do to help the fight, to help get with it. So a lot of it is going within yourself. And that's why you got to stay in your creative mind. Even if you're in a field of competitive play, you have to stay in your creative mind because as the problems go, so will you. But there's another level above that. As the problems go, they don't bother me because I'm already prepared in my mind. So when you're working your active business plan, you might even work it on your job. And when you work that active business plan, they can say, like they say on the street, kill that noise. Because now, okay, I'm in my creative mind. So this came, that came, they came at me this way. Okay, but I stayed positive and I said what I needed to say in a professional manner. And I did it without getting sued, and I did it without emotional attachments being in the way. So this is very, very important situation. Now, the next part, like an active business plan, is let's dig deeper into those tenses. Okay, so I am doing like today. I am live streaming today. I'm having a ball. The reason why I'm having a ball because I got to be of service, which is part of my action plan, and also I can impart some knowledge to some people. And there's a lot of people out here that already have that knowledge, but sometimes you got to rehear it, and that's what makes the internet so powerful and beautiful because you can stream to thousands and millions of people, and what you put out there hopefully is positive. So I would just want to keep putting out positive messages all the time. And it doesn't matter to me. I'm just using myself as a example. I do my best and I try to be better than the rest. And so the antithesis of that, to make it better, I am the best. I do better than the rest. There it is. So your tenses. So when your language matches up with your reality and matches up with your active business plan, then you're going to move forward in your faith. So when you're praying, that's what they say. You have to claim it, and that's what they mean. That's a simplified version. So I'm not a person that is a minister or pastor. I'm not that. What I am a person that's just moving forward. So I take the knowledge from that team because I'm with that team, that basic instructions before leaving earth. I'm with that team. So I take those lessons and I apply them. And the application is where it moves you forward. So that's why you hear the old saying, faith without works is dead. Well, faith and works got to run concurrent. And part of that is building myself to the best self I can be. So that's what I try to do every day. And that's what I'm actually doing every day, just to show you the tenses. So what's coming out of my mouth is good for someone else so they can make small changes in how they do. And then what that does is it moves them closer to their goal of what they're trying to accomplish and what they are accomplishing. So when you have an active business plan, you are accomplishing every day, all day. So you just got to stay the path. And when you're staying on that path, it's beautiful. Take it from everyone else that have made it. And they may have made it just on simple things. And what I mean by simple things is it might have been maybe they weren't eating every day. Maybe they were eating every other day. So they got to the point where they could eat every day. Then it was one meal, then it went to two, then it went to three. And then they said, oh, I'm putting on a little weight because I'm gorging myself. Then maybe they just need to eat one meal. See how they're doing it conducive to them? That's what we're talking about. We're not saying 3 meals are bad. We're just saying whatever's conducive to you, or like they say out here, whatever floats your boat. To be who you need to be is you got to just have that in your mind. I have my W hat on today, which stands for winners. So when I wear this hat, for me, I'm winning because I got my W hat. You see it, I see it. And this means that I'm going to win big every day, and I'm winning big every day. And that's your mindset has to be. Now, you don't have to be arrogant, but what happens is you start rising levels. So those that are down on levels that are not conducive to you, they're going to call you arrogant. And the reason why they call you arrogant, because they don't know your vision and what you are trying to accomplish. And when you're running a business or any kind of program, you gotta have a little bit of arrogancy in there because that's part of your ego. Your ego is going to drive what you need to do. And then as you move forward, your ego cease being a process less and less because it's just what you do. This is your lifestyle. That's the difference. So my lifestyle is every day I get up, I continuously contemplate and exercise, I eat, I set my schedule, or my schedule was set a few days before, and then I follow that path. And then if I miss a module in it, if I miss one part of it, then I try to go back and do it. And the reason why I say I try, because I don't always accomplish it that day. So then it becomes, okay, I feel guilty. Okay, but so that means that I'm being driven. I'm being driven from internally. So then I go back and get it done. I think this is a very big situation there, because when you feel it and it becomes a part of your lifestyle, if you miss something or something's not right or something's out of order, it's because you're being driven, and now you know that you're in your life path. When you get those people that don't like who you become and they hold you to where how you used to be, it's not a bad thing. It's just showing you that you've risen up levels. So you can't even take them personal, because that's just what they're going to think. You can't control what others think, but what you can do is be what you think you need to be. And hopefully that's a positive force for good in the world. And that's what we say, share your knowledge to contribute for the greater good. Because there's a lot out here. And some of us come from communities where a lot of people are born with a wooden spoon with a little bit of mildew on it and it's cracked. That's not necessarily a bad situation. It just means you had some challenges earlier in life, or you're going through some challenges now. And that's what they are. They're challenges. So you have to embrace that and say, I'm going to pull myself up out of the bootstraps. And then once you start doing it, I'm pulling myself from the bootstraps. I'm getting it done. That's what you want to be. That's the attitude you want to have. In your belief, I believe, that statement there, that's one of the best statements you can have. And I think at school, one of these colleges, they have it. And it's good. They say they believe. So they believed. And they started accomplishing goals within their framework of their school, within their raising of money, within their sports. So it catches on like wildfire. And that's what you want. And when you have a program, that's what you want. And when you have your program, that's what you want. Nobody asks for fire and smoke in their life. But because we live on earth and those are the challenges that are passed to us, sometimes we have challenges that are generational, that happen to other members in our family. We got to break it. And the only way to break it is to live above it. And when it comes, and when those forces come to take you down, you know what the right choice is innately. And then it adds up to what you are becoming and what you want to be. And you just keep moving. That's how you break it. And then others in your family seeing you break it, you become the model. And when you become the model, that's one of the things to know. And then when you got haters, hateration, hater nation, because you're going to have that, you know that I'm on this level. Am I looking down at them? No, I don't have time. They don't exist in my world. That's why you hear people say that. And the reason why you don't have time, because you're so busy making yourself be a better person. And when you have kids and you have others that count on you, every day you get up and you do your routine, you do your formula, and you just keep moving forward no matter what. Oh, my back hurts this morning. I got to get up. I got to go to work, or I got to go to the office, or I got to get online and live stream, whatever it is. You just keep doing it every day in and day out, and you're consistent. That's what makes it challenging. That is what makes it challenging. And so right now, I would like to talk more, but I think right now is what I'm thinking is that I have to slow down myself, because I'm moving myself faster, and I got to go and I got to do some of my formula and my active business plan so that I can move forward and I can kick that knowledge more on another live stream, because I wanted to be able to tell this, you know, with passion, but I didn't want to go overboard with my passion. But this is the way I think, and to be the best I can be. And then when I'm talking out here, I wanted to make sure that I'm saying those special nodules that someone else can get, and they can take it and run with it. Even if they already know it, they can just take it and run with it. And then if they got their own programs, they can produce that to their people. We all have a way of communicating, and that's what makes living on earth beautiful, because we communicate in different ways. So we'll have another live stream about this, and we'll talk about all the terms that they're using. Maybe we don't know if it's going to be the next one. It just depends on when it comes to me, and then I get the message, and then I'm able to live it. And that's when I'm talking from that position. I'm living it. I don't have to say it, but I am living it. So I got to slow down myself right now, because the message is so powerful, my heart's fluttering. So maybe I'm not supposed to say that, or maybe, but I just want to make sure that everybody in our group keeps going forward no matter what. I don't care if the earth is falling. Remember Chicken Little? The sky is falling. I must go tell the king. Well, I don't necessarily have to be Chicken Little. I don't have to be Chicken Little at all. I just be David, David Big, David Mega. So you got to put yourself in there. I'm not going to tell a king. What I'm going to do is get on my knees and pray and keep rolling and follow my path and stay on that path and stay on that path of righteousness as much as I can and to stay on that path that's conducive to me. And so others, they don't have to follow me. They can hear my message and I can hear their message and incorporate what they are bringing to the table into my plan if it's conducive to me. So everybody today that's on, I want to thank you. And as always, what I want for myself, I want for others, and have blessings for the rest of the day and do the things necessary as we go into this weekend and keep yourself in good health and mind and shape and faith so that you can just keep receiving blessings. And blessings don't always mean money. Blessings means that you're moving forward and you're getting yourself together. That's all it means. And it's all of that encompassed and all of that and on top of that. And we could go on for hours. Okay. But anyway, have a great day. Be your best and do your best and be you and do you. And make sure when you're doing you that you got a positive change in the world that you're making so that you can keep stepping forward. God bless everyone. God bless America. God bless the world. God bless those that are less fortunate and give them what they need so that they can make it through the day. Thank you all. Have a great day. Bye for now.